When I'm playing, if I'm playing like that, was good practicing, good playing, because I had an idea and I was following the idea, you know, and so I was focused like that. Although on the side of my mind, I was still worried about my jaw. So in that way, it wasn't that different from normal, because I'm always worrying about some bullshit in the side of my brain, you know. But usually I'm not as focused as what's happening. It's not, you know, it's not as, it doesn't have a theme like a story, like we're talking about how people like stories. I mean, this is a story. That's a story. Buddha. So I was able to take, when I'm playing, everything is so much as focused. The physical question of my breath, my posture, you know, my fingers relaxing, all that. I'm thinking about all that. It's so focused, there's so much going on. When I'm in regular normal, I'm worried about, you know, my stomach going back and forth to the bathroom. You know, my kid, you know, the house, the fucking, all that shit. And there's not one thing thrusting me forward. Like the sound is thrusting you forward. You can believe in the sound. They say, that guy's got incredible energy. It's just because I'm a nut, it's because I'm hyperactive. That's right, that's why I couldn't stop and read when I was a kid. I couldn't stop for 2 seconds. But the cool thing about music is that your hyperactivity of your brain can still be focused by that sound. You see, so it's like a focused hyperactivity. You're constantly moving from idea to idea, but there's got this one thing, because the breath calms you down in a way. I never thought I could do that. Then when I was 19, I was tripping, and I discovered that this is what I wanted to do more than anything in my life after I played clarinet when I was a kid and I quit. I figured out the only way that I could stay practicing was to move to thing, but just to make sure that the horn was in my mouth at all times. We all share words, and pop songs have to be, when they're successful, singable by the other person. That's the big thing. That's why they're popular, because the other guy can sing them. The guy was not a musician. And when you write really complicated stuff, nobody can even really appreciate the ways things move from thing to thing, or the harmonic changes, the way the chords change, unless they actually have some prior knowledge about that.
So why do you do it?
Because, you know, to describe it's a more detailed way to describe the world. It is a more detailed world. To say it's better, for me, for years they said it was better. To say it's not more detailed is wrong. It is crazy more detailed. You know, just with a beggar breath or simple, that's a simple chord, right? That's a C chord. But you can add different qualities to that chord. You could add the seventh, which they might use, or you can use the sharp 9. You could voice it a new way. You could put the flat 9 here and the 13th. That has a beautiful sound and a different sound and more quality to it than. And those are still both C chords. The other one was kind of an A minor chord. And if you know what you're doing, I mean, it's like saying, why study the plant? Why study physics if Joe Blow doesn't understand physics? In the 80s, there was a movement of art in the East Village of sticking everything together, high and low art and all that. That was the whole idea. When you think about these paintings that like Francesco Commenti and all these people would do, where they would have these kind of goofy or Basquiat, they were like child's things scribbled on a thing, but they had this relation to really understanding. They were putting, because when Warhol made pop art, he raised the expectations of everybody that you could combine all those things together, and that would be the really great art. the immediate thing that everybody understood and the complicated thing. So I grew up in that time where you got to hit the home run in both ballparks. I do expect that people can hear the music and like it, and because I fall over to the side of a little bit more weird or a little bit more abstract, probably. It's weird because in France, people, it goes over better than it does here. In Europe in general, but particularly in France, the stuff that I've done, especially in the last couple of years, have gone over really well. And so some of it is luck, and some of it is who's out there and how people, how the movements of art of the time are, because I've certainly had my time when I've had, way more recognition than I sort of expected. And then there's tons of time when I had less recognition. So it's never seemed like it was gotten quite right,